Joachim Jakobsen aus Deutschland und Arthur Ellensohn ebenfalls aus Deutschland.
Now let me tell you, if anyone's going to beat Virchis, Sprott's the kind of guy who can do it. He's got the ability, he's got the experience, and of course, well, depending of course on the referee Daniel Talon's actions, I mean, you know, it all depends really how he sees this fight and how he feels the fighters should behave. And by that I do mean, of course, we have seen some contract referees jump in and make all sorts of fusses, and fighters don't quite know what to do next.
Gentlemen, respect the rules, okay? Respect the referee.
I've known Daniel now for quite some time. He used to be the president, in fact, of the French Boxing Federation. Well, supposing we get the opportunity, I'll give you some detailed background on Michael Sprott's career a wee bit later. But he is 2 years younger than Virchis. Now, I don't think that really will make a great deal of difference here. And I think Sprott's been a pro now for quite some time. Turned pro back in '96, nearly 10 years ago. And Virchis 3 years later. Now, Virchis is not the quickest of men, and that's for certain. But when you think Michael Sprott last time out, lost on points over 12 rounds to Paulo Vidos for the European Championship, you know, he did pretty well in that. We watched that, didn't we? And the other thing is, Michael Sprott's 6 feet tall. Virchis is 6 feet 4.5. And this is a fight that Michael could win. So first defence then of this title for Virchis. Comes from the Ukraine originally. Nice jab there from Michael Sprott. I've known him ever since his second fight, my apologies, back in 1997. He fought John Davidson. That was at Acton Town Hall, if I remember rightly. So Virchis then, tall, statuesque, and that's his problem. He's slow. Well, Sprott there didn't get hit, did he? Not a great start this for either man, but in my opinion, Michael Sprott has made the better start. I don't think you had to be particularly bright to work that one out. And Michael does follow instructions very well as well from Dean Powell and Jim Evans. He listens and he executes. He does well. And this is just the kind of attitude, as I say, Sprott's the kind of guy who could beat Virchis with the right attitude. But of course the problem here is if Vladimir Virchis does start to connect, and heavily, and that's a lovely jab again from Sprott, Michael could be in bother. 16 wins and 18 on the Vladimir Virchis record via the short route. Only one loss in his second fight. And see those dangerous moments there for Sprott when he allows Virchis to unload on him. You know, he doesn't want to do that. That really does make life awfully difficult. Well, Virchis didn't enjoy that one too much, did he? And I think that's a round for Sprott, don't you? Don't expect the judges to have gone Michael's way there.
He's carrying left hand out, a little feint, stepping right and round the top. Just keep
And those of you wondering what a little feint is that Jim Evans just mentioned there, of course it means, you know, you trick and kid your opponent, pretending to do one thing when you in fact are going to do another. And it can be very successful. Here we go then, into the second session of the scheduled 12. Vladimir Virchis, then in the black shorts, the reigning and defending champion, needs to do a bit better in this second round. And Michael Sprott, of course, I think he did quite well. The only thing I would criticise him for is going back on the ropes and staying there. Just be lively, Michael. Get off them. Don't let this man in for a second. Well, once again, Sprott boxing well here. And Virchis can't match him for speed, and that's always been one of Vladimir's problems. He's not a quick fighter. But, of course, he is reasonably powerful. And there's no reason really on earth why Michael should be suckered into a corner or on the ropes. You know, he has the ability to avoid all of that. But of course, he won't be a very popular winner if that is the case. Well, see, once again, Sprott there put himself in danger, put himself in trouble, but comes back. And the crowd applauding his efforts here. So, Sprott then on good form here. And as I say, lost his last fight, but of course he did outpoint Cengiz Koch prior to that for the European Union Championship, albeit over 10 rounds. And this is a 12-round match. And don't forget also he took the very strong and uncompromising Matt Skelton into the 12th and final round when they met a few fights ago. And Sprott, of course, the former British and Commonwealth champion, fought Danny Williams 3 times and beat him on 1 occasion. So a minute to go then here in the second session. Yes, he's got to come back every time he gets tagged. If you get hit once, hit him back twice. And quite obviously, Michael Sprott there does respect Virchis' power. Got a bit of valuable coaching there from his missus. Oh, nice bit of work there from Michael Sprott. Actually, I'm not sure if that's his wife or not, to be honest with you. I know I've met her. Well, I think it's quite fair to say that's another Sprott round, don't you? So 2018 then, Michael Sprott. Don't expect to say it like this, will you? It won't stay. And Jim Evans, by the way, in the corner there. A bit of a boxing sage, an old pal of my dad's and consequently a pal of mine. And, you know, Jim doesn't lose it. He doesn't scream and shout, unless, of course, he has to. He just has his own ways of doing things, as our Jim. Not, of course, at all sure about the Virchis corner. And as I say, I didn't really like the attitude there of Artur Grigorian with Boitsov earlier. You know, if the guy doesn't do something right, something that's expected of him, have a go at him. Don't pat him on the back.
Seconds out. Ring frei, Runde 3, Round 3.
So round 3 this is, and now Virchis has got to try and win a round here. As you can see, he's going to try and press Michael Sprott now, and this is the Virchis that we're quite used to. They've said to him, listen, you stand back like this, you are not going to win anything. You've got to put him under pressure. And this is where Michael, and you know, there's been some hard-working fights for Michael over the years. This is where Michael's going to have to get on his bike and use his footwork and be a smart fighter. And the reason for that, he's got Virchis in a position where Virchis has got no choice but to react and respond to it. So far, this Solden crowd have been pretty sporting. They give him the credit he deserves.
Roll. Under it.
Nice left hook, counter punch there from Sprott. A little nod of the head from him as well, says, yeah, that'll teach you. You come in again, you'll get another one. And that's really what he needs to. He needs to make Virchis afraid of closing that gap. Virchis will have shrugged that off, and he'll come back strong in a moment, I suspect. Well, Dean Powell's good advice there. Don't go sloppy, Mike, and that's very true. You've got to be tight, keep it tight, always think, always move. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm impartial. I mean, I like Michael, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see him win. But, you know, when I call a fight, I like to think I'm impartial. Yeah, don't get cocky, says Dean again. Well, he's proving to be quite a hit at the moment, isn't he, Michael Sprott, with this lot?
1-2. Come back.
Shoulder round, roll underneath it.
And that's a bad habit Michael's got. He'll drop down almost to waist level and back off, and I think it leaves him vulnerable.
Roll underneath it, get ready to roll underneath it.
Under it.
Now throw, Michael.
And Michael's showing just a wee bit too much respect here, I think, for Virchis at times as well. And equally, of course, Virchis showing Sprott too much respect as well. He's instead of getting in there, being the boss and trying to bully him and push him around, he's allowing himself to be outthought and, of course, outfought. And this is another round that's going to go Sprott's way. Indeed it has. 30-27 then for me. But as I say, the judges could easily have it the same score the other way round. And it wouldn't surprise me in the least if they did.
You've got to concentrate all the time. Okay. You want no showboating at all, right? You want to win this one with a class out. Good boxing, all right? Yeah. You box brilliantly, and then the last 20 minutes you fucked about. Don't do it.
Drink a little drop. Now listen to Jim, now listen.
So there are a bit of replay. And this was the moment when Michael got himself caught. And that was a lovely left hook cantaloupe. And it's weird, isn't it, how that left hook landed, because, you know, it's not the kind of punch you'd expect on a counter.
Second round. Ringfrei, Runde 4 und 4.
Incidentally, I do expect to get a few rounds out of this one, as we come out now for the fourth of a scheduled dozen. Well, Virchis comes out, 250 to the body, but Sprott back on his bike. Well, Virchis there, far too slow to capitalise. Virchis, by the way, a stone heavier for this than Michael Sprott, which in heavyweight terms is not a massive amount, but it's big enough. As I say, 6 feet 4.5, Michael 6 feet. I actually thought Michael was bigger than that. In fact, I'd say Mike was about 6'2". He's got no left hook, you see, Virchis, so why Michael goes to his own left is beyond me. He'll get caught with the right. He needs to go to his own right when he gets stuck on the ropes like that. Because, as I say, I don't believe Virchis has got a left hook to speak of. Now, Vladimir Virchis isn't doing a great deal, but he's doing enough to impress the judges. And that's important. Any close round will go Virchis' way. Sometimes watching Michael Sprott can be awfully frustrating, because you know he could do certain things, but he just simply doesn't. But he's coming back strongly now. Well, left hook there, got through. The uppercut from Virchis missed. Well, that's better. Right hand to the body, left hook to the chin. And Virchis looks slightly bemused by this approach of Michael Sprott. He doesn't quite know what to do, does he? And again, a nice short left hook there from Michael. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to have to call it a level round. Good finish from Sprott. And thanks, by the way, to everyone who sent me a Christmas card, including my mate, Dave Fitzmaurice. Thank you, David. And, you know, I'm glad that you've stuck with the boxing of the last year and, of course, the many years before. It's very important. So here's a bit of replay again from the fourth round. Indeed, it is round 5 coming up. So we've had 4. I gave the first 3 to Michael Sprott. I've gone level on the 4th. Simply because, you know, you must remember the first minute and a half or so, Virchis did quite a bit of work. In fact, Michael Sprott did virtually none. But Sprott came back and probably took the last half of the round to make things around about level. But as I say, don't forget, you know, in the event of a reasonably closest round, they will go for Virchis. And once again, we'll see another fruitless voyage for Michael Sprott. I mean, don't get me wrong, he hasn't had many fruitless voyages, that's for certain. In fact, a very successful little fighter, Michael. Only 8 losses so far on his record. This is his, by the way, his 36th pro fight. 27 wins, 15 wins inside the limit. Sport's a good lad. He got stopped by Wayne Llewellyn, by the way, back in 2000. The same Wayne who was recently dispatched inside 2 rounds by Colin Kenner down in Portsmouth. He had wins and losses against Timo Hoffman, you may remember, beaten inside a round by the big punching South African, Corey Sanders. And as I say, he fought Danny Williams 3 times. He won one of those. But wins over former British champion Mark Holden. Win over Mark Potter, another tough guy. And he actually beat Colin Kenner inside the first round as well, Michael Sprott. And taking Skelton into the 12th and final round, that wasn't easy either, but he did it.
Don't flick it, drive it, come on, sharp.
So that proves then that Michael Sprott has got heart and fighting spirit. All he's got to do is put it together. Well, little being the operative word. Virchis not by any means a dynamic kind of puncher, is he? There's no velocity at all in what he does. And so much of what Vladimir does looks like it's being done underwater. Well, I suppose you could compare him to a statue, but I've actually seen faster statues than Virchis. And this is, once again, a decent finish here from Sprott. He's certainly done a lot more work. Oh, nice right over the top, left hook there from Sprott. And he's got Virchis in trouble here right at the end of round 5. big bevy of punches there from Sprott. Well, Virchis stayed on his feet, but I tell you what, he's lucky that attack came when it did, because Michael Sprott just exploded into life. And here we go again. Bingo, look at these good shots. Why don't you do that all the time, Michael? See what I mean? There's a frustrating element about the Sprott's work. And what made him, explode at that point is, I don't know what it was, but I just wish he'd do it more often.
Seconds out. Ring frei, Runde 6, Round 6.
Into the 6th we go then. I've got Sprott 4 in front. Don't think for a second that he's going to get the verdict here. Doesn't work like that, does it? So Michael Sprott then in the green shorts and Reading in Berkshire. Well, I think he's on his way to victory and had a cracking finish at the end of the 5th round, but well, you never know what Virchis is going to produce here. Seen him several times in the past. And this is, you've got to say, I think his first live opponent, to be honest with you. He beat Julius Francis on points over 12 rounds. He also stopped Cliff Kauser, who's reportedly Mike Tyson's half-brother or something daft like that. Also beat Taras Bidenko in the 12th and final round, which means, if you remember rightly, Bidenko was winning everything, and then he got stopped, which means that this guy has got a bit of power. So, Sprott's going to have to watch himself throughout this, especially late on. And it's interesting, isn't it, how Michael does respond to the advice given to him outside the ring. But you'd have thought by now he'd think for himself in there, wouldn't you? He knows what to do. For instance, no one told him to put that combo together at the end of the 5th, and he did it so well. And Michael Sprott, by the way, boxing in Germany for the 4th time in his professional career. I saw jab there once again. Good timing that from Sprott. Well, this big Ukrainian, I don't think he's enjoying this experience too much, do you? But then again, who would? It can be painful, and it can be humiliating. It's wonderful, of course, when you win. Boxing's like any question, really. Potentially 3 answers, yes, no, and maybe. So Virchis, they're trying to put him under a bit of pressure, but Sprott responded. And once again, a better round for Michael Sprott than it was for Vladimir Virchis. 60-55 then. 6 gone, 6 to go.
You're getting that round back, okay?
Why did you do that?
All right, breathe deep. Come on, don't say sorry. You got to put it right next round. Breathe deep.
You let him off, he was going on all parties.
Lovely jab there. Sprott's was better. Yes, there's no point being apologetic in the boxing ring. No point saying, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. Get out there and do it. Don't have any regrets. Don't think, well, I was fit enough for this, fit enough for that, and I didn't get on with it, because you've only got yourself to blame.
Seconds out. Ring frei, Runde 7, Round 7.
Round 7, the halfway stage. So Virchis once again comes out to the body, but took a left hook there from Michael Sprott. So 6 rounds, and the first half of the fight's in the bag for Michael Sprott, but can he keep it up here over the last 6? I reckon he can. And he might actually get better. And moreover, Michael is a boxer than he is a slugger. But, you know, he can, as you saw at the end of the 5th round, he can get involved in a bit of a punch-up if he has to. He doesn't like to. Likes to outthink opponents, doesn't he? So Virchis then making the, I think it's his first defence in his second reign, because he won the WBO Intercontinental earlier this year, in fact in March. Then he won the IBF International or something. I've got no idea what it's called. This might just be the second defence, who knows? Who cares? They both care, of course, because it's an earner. That's all it is, it's business. But once again there, you saw Virchis walking into a left hand. He's a big boy, isn't he? Unfortunately for Virchis, he's got the same kind of speed level as the big Russian, 7 feet 2 inches tall. Well, this is the moment when Sprott needs to go off to his own right-hand side. So he needs a good finish here. Michael to convince the judges if they needed it. Well, close round. I'm going to go for a level. No, I'm going to go for Virchis there. And don't even ask me why. In fact, I'm not. I'm going to go level. So, still 5 points in it, and there's 5 rounds to go for me, on my card anyway. I don't think Virchis can win this unless he scores a knockdown or a knockout. But I don't think he can win it on points. As I say, I've got him 5 behind with 5 to play, and that's a dangerous place to be.
As soon as he throws him, Michael, and you block, answer straight back. Okay? All right. Right, on your feet, come on, get up.
Second round, ringfrei, Runde 8, Round 8.
I would tell Sprott to go out there and have one good 20-30 second session per round, and it'll be enough. As we come out then for the 8th round. And I do think this one will go the full route, as I said earlier. Oh, got a right hand there, big left hook miss from Michael. So Vladimir then, the hunter. He's beginning to liven up a wee bit here, isn't he? Or is he? Oh, nice right there from Vladimir Virchis, and he knows it. Best punch he's landed so far. And he's looking for the finish. Don't forget what he did to Taras Budenko. Came from behind with one crunching right hand in the 12th and final round. So, you know, you've got to keep your eyes open for this guy. And that's something you don't see often enough. A double jab from a heavyweight. It always gets the opponent. And Daniel Talon is dying to take a point off Sprott. We saw him, in fact, in the previous round say, hey. And that's a dangerous moment. Not a great round, this one, for the challenger, Michael Sprott. Oh, that's a good stiff jab from Sprott. Right thumper that was.
Stop! Come on, don't give it away. But you've got to go for it, come on.
Well, I think they applauded the quality there of Sprott's left hook. And Virchis getting rather frustrated here, isn't he? Coming off a first round win, by the way, in defence of this title. I might not have expected to go this far, but he's in the 8th round, towards the end of it, in fact. Once again, a combination there from Sprott. Well, nothing much in that one either, was there? But I think Sprott's done about... No, I don't. Do I? Yes, I do. Enough to win it. So 6 in front now, 4 to play. Can't lose for me. So a big wide left hook there then from Michael. And that was the moment he got caught. And of course, Virchis went to work when that punch landed.
Michael, you've got to hold it together, son.
And you've got a nose in front of him. Don't let you go, right? You've got a nose in front. Don't let you go.
Okay.
Michael, don't let him let you go.
И давление нужно. Когда твое давление, он теряется, все.
Once again, that's the punch.
Ringfrei, Runde 9.
Arthur.
So here we go then. This is round 9, and I've still got a 6-point difference here between these two. And Vladimir Virchis needs to get a move on. I don't personally think he can win this one on points, but he won't be looking at that. He'll be looking at taking Sprott out if he can, and that's, of course, where Michael needs to be very careful. Equally, of course, Michael Sprott has got to get out there and impress over the last few rounds, because the judges might not be seeing things the same way as I am. In fact, they very rarely do. They haven't got my expertise. Of course, I'm only joking about that, but, you know, they are so often on the other side of the fence. No, Michael, always move out to your own right. He's got no left hook to speak of. Just remind you about the records, incidentally, both men. 18 wins, 1 loss, and 16 wins inside for Vladimir Virchis. As for Michael Sprott, he's won 27, lost 8, top 15. He's 30 years of age, 2 years younger than the current champion. Nice little combination there from Sprott. Well, this is... but they were almost desperate moments, weren't they, for Virchis? Just throwing caution to the wind, walking straight in, bit of take coming loose on the left glove of Michael Sprott. Goes off the wrong way. Nice left hook. And the danger that Michael has is getting on the ropes and going off the wrong way and walking into a right hand. He doesn't need that. Nice bit of work again here from Sprott now. Boxing well. Oh, and again, big thumping left hook there. Last couple of seconds then, another good round here for Sprott. Yet the 9th's in the bag as well. 90-83, then 7 points in front, 3 to go. Now, have I been too generous for Michael Sprott, I wonder? What do you reckon, Aussie Dave in Baden in Switzerland? Have I been a bit too generous on Michael Sprott's behalf? I don't know. I really don't know. You know, call it as I see it. Of course I do. So a bit of replay then. Nice jab that. And it wasn't a great round by any means here for this guy. The reigning and defending champion, who could be on the verge of about to lose it. I've got him 7 points behind with 3 rounds to go. Still can't take any chances here, can you? So into round 10 we are. And the way things have gone, you know, they could have it dead level. And it's always terribly embarrassing when I score it one way, and of course we're up against a partisan set of judges who score it entirely differently. Yeah, that's so annoying. I, of course, don't have any political affiliation, so it matters not to me who wins or who loses. But I'd like to see Michael win. I've said that right from the off, which is not the reason I've got him in front. At least I hope it's not. So, Vladimir Virchis in the black shorts. Well, he knows he needs to land a haymaker, blockbuster here. Sprott, well, he's proved to be a far better boxer. I mean, you couldn't be much slower, could you, than Virchis? But no one wants someone coming from overseas and taking a title home with them. That's the long and the short of it, really. Well, left right there a moment ago from Vladimir Virchis, and then an attempted uppercut which didn't land. Yeah, don't push him off, he's too big. So Vladimir Virchis knows he has to throw punches and land them, and he's doing that here in the 10th round. And this is the moment when Sprott really needs to look after himself. We've probably got a video of the Bedenko win from my old mate George. Who knows? So at least he knows what he's up against. All fighters these days, of course, with access to video, tend to use it. Not a bad round this for Virchis, despite that little comeback there from Michael Sprott. Difficult, of course, for Jim Evans and Dean Powell to be objective about how this one is going. They would like to, of course, think that Sprott's winning, but they have no idea. Not really. So I'm going to go for Virchis in that round. Still 6 in it though, 2 to go. Now, I do like that dress. So here he is then, the big fella, 6 feet 4.5, Vladimir Virchis. Well, is he 6 behind? Is he 1 behind? Is he level? Is he in front? Penultimate round then, round 11. Well, they've told Virchis he needs to knock out to win this. So the last couple of rounds there for Sprott to survive, and you know this could be all about survival. But yeah, well done, Michael. He's just done the right thing there. He's fought back. He's not going to be cowed by this big fella. Just fight back. Do I expect Sprott to get the verdict? If it stays like this? No, I do not. We're too long in the tooth, really, for that kind of expectation, aren't we? Once again, Sprott being more effective in this round than he has been, well, you know, like he has been all the way through, to be honest with you. But it just seems to be, you know, if you're the home fighter and you finish on your feet, you win. Big right there from Vladimir Virchis. So a minute to go then in the 11th round.
Come on. Pull out, Michael. You're wrestling with him, Michael. Now throw, Michael. Come on.
He's too big. Pull out low.
Boss it, Michael. Come on.
Well, they're absolutely right. You can't wrestle and push this big guy about. You got to get out there and stab them out. Dean Powell, for those that don't know.
Michael, concentrate. Come on. Throw as you come out of that roll. Come on. Answer back, Michael.
Good boy. And again. And again. No, feet, come on.
Keep going, Michael. Keep going. Swing, Michael. Hands up, Michael.
Oh, decent right again here from Virchis. Big smile on his face. And he can't go forward, Sprott, and you know, and do nothing. He's got to do something. Because these are now dangerous moments here for the Englishman as they both take a tumble. As the bell goes, well, that's a Virchis round. Won that, I think, by one fall and almost a submission. Well, the gap has narrowed to 5 points on my card, 108 to 103 in favour of Sprott. But, as I say, you'll have to wait and see. We have one more round to go.
I want your chin down and hands there and keep rolling and counter straight away.
Okay, baby. You're going to throw big right hands, a big swing,
Michael,
right?
don't, please. You've got 3 minutes to concentrate, all right?
Okay.
With a little drink.
Breathe up, come on, breathe up. You want a big round, a big round.
Michael, this
You
is
just
really...
gave it.
Seconds off.
Right, good round, big round.
Ringfrei zur 12. geschätzten Runde 12. and last out.
Here we go then, 12th and final round to decide this. And as I say, I do not expect in a million years Sprott to get this verdict. even if he wins the fight. So Vladimir Virchis then, who is statuesque in every single way. 5 points adrift coming into the final round, but he might do enough to convince the judges he deserves to take this title back home again. And it's easy for me to say I don't think this is a tough fight for Michael Sprott. As I say, it's easy for me because I'm not in there doing it. But I don't think it's by no means the most difficult assignment he's ever had. The potential, of course, is there for it to be difficult, but he's making light of that. And you wouldn't actually describe Virchis as being a stealthy man, would you? I think he could probably creep up on you because he does it so slowly. Nice left hook from Sprott. Well, you might think you don't need speed as a heavyweight, but you can see the difference it makes. And I don't think that, I think the reason Sprott doesn't get it is he hasn't done enough to impress everybody. He might have impressed me to a degree, but I just don't think he's done enough to impress the judges. And that's all it's about. Take the hometown bias and, of course, the politicking out, and you could have a straight verdict, but I don't know. Well, nice right there to the head from Sprott. Well, 40-odd seconds to go now. 12th and final round, and one big finish here could be all it takes, because I have no confidence whatsoever in the way I've scored this. Not that I don't think, get me wrong, don't think I'm wrong, I just don't think the judges will agree with me, which doesn't make them right, by the way. Not much in the final round, is there? Let's give it to Virchis, shall we? Just be on the safe side. Well, Sprott will survive. In fact, no more than a level round there. Rather than going Virchis' way, I'm going to go for a level session there. Well, 118, 113. 5 rounds in front at the end. I've got it 7 rounds to 2 and 3 even. Now, that might not sound very good. 7 rounds to 2 and 3 even, which means on the 3 even rounds, the judges would have, of course, gone for Virchis. They would have also gone for Virchis in a couple of rounds where I went for Sprott, meaning he'll win by 7 rounds to 5. Well, the crowd thoroughly enjoyed that. In some perverse way, so did I, but I still know if we ain't going to get it. Well, all smiles now, but what will they be in a couple of minutes' time when we know the official verdict? That's the problem. That is the problem.
No. Two, 1.
Well, I tell you what, I would not want to be in either man's shoes at this point.
Hello?
Nervous moments. Here we go. You know, no one wants to lose a title to someone from overseas. It's just the way it is. If he lost it to a fellow German, fine. Here we go. Absolutely. Well, I do speak a bit of German, as you probably realise, so I'll try and give you the official verdict.
Meine Damen und Herren, wir kommen zur Urteilsverkündung. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards.
118, 113 for me.
André van Grotenbroel wertete. André van Grotenbroel scored 115 to 113.
Oh, very close.
Arthur Ellensohn wertete 116 zu 113. Arthur Ellensohn scored 116 to 113. Joachim Jakobsen wertete 115 zu 113. Joachim Jakobsen scored 115 to 113.
So it's unanimous.
Sieger durch einstimmige Entscheidung. Winner by unanimous decision. And therefore former and new intercontinental
Michael Sprott's got it.
Of the WBO. Aus der Ukraine, from the Ukraine, Vladimir Virchis.
Oh, goodness me. She said former and new. Oh. Well, there's the crowd's reaction. They're all booing. What did I tell you? They know, you know, and I know. But, you know, look, you've got 115, 113. That's 7 rounds to 5. 116, 113. That's 7 rounds to 4 and 1 even. And 7 rounds to 5 again, all in favour of the defending champion. I mean, something's got to be done about this. This is just not good enough. Michael Sprott's got himself to blame as well, because, you know, you've got to go above and beyond the call of duty when you're on foreign soil. You've got to absolutely leave it in no doubt whatsoever. Sadly for Michael, he didn't do that. But having said that, he did enough to convince me and did enough to convince this crowd, who absolutely hated that verdict. But there you go. Don't start shaking your head, Michael. You should have shook his head a wee bit earlier. Well, there you are. That's the end of that particular contest. Next up, we have got a 4-round light welterweight contest to come for you. It should be interesting. Sergei Tushonolovov in action against Freddy Chura from Chile.
So wie mein Kollege Gerd Müller schon gesagt hat, wir teilen uns diesen Abend.
It's that special time of the year when the show jumping's creme de la creme